Welcome back to Guest Live, and I'm Lynn Meadows, your host, and I'm sitting here with Boo Williams. He's out of Virginia. He is also on the board for AAU, and I would like for him to explain a little bit about AAU and let some people out there know where they can go get information, find these tournaments, and let's talk about his nationals and stuff.
Thanks for having me on. We'd love to have more kids participate. AAU is one of the biggest youth organizations in the country. Right now, AAU will have 170,000 kids participate from the ages of 3rd grade on up to the 11th grade. We definitely love to have more Texas kids. If anybody out there listening want to get involved in AAU, make sure you call the national office at 407-934-7200. 407-934-7200. Call the national office. Say you want to get involved in AAU. Because we're definitely looking to have more kids from Texas. As you see in this John Lucas event, there's a lot of talented kids in Texas. And you look at the city of Houston, the city of Dallas, and all the city. I mean, it's a great talent, men and men and women.
Oh, yes, very much so. Tell me, I know that you built a facility in Virginia, am I correct?
Yes.
And you host a lot of events there, am I correct?
Yes, I built a facility, 135,000 square foot facility. We host 42 basketball tournaments, boys and girls, and 37 trap meets. So we host a lot of different events there, and we host the Nike EYBL tournaments and the Nike Youth tournaments, as well as the big AAU tournaments. And also in the summer we do a national tournaments, different national tournaments.
Didn't you host a Nike event there this past summer, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, we host a Nike girls event the end of April, and the Nike boys event the 3rd weekend of April. So I think the girls event we had 212 teams, and the boys we had a total of about 170 teams.
Not meaning to go back, but with AAU, it's not just basketball; it is all sports. Am I correct?
No question. We got 26 different sports. I mean, we have track, we have wrestling, volleyball is very big. So we have a lot of big sports. Taekwondo, we got adult sports, inline hockey. So I mean, AAU is just not basketball. That's just one part of it.
And how long has AAU been around, sir?
Oh, the 1800s. Oh yeah, AAU been around a long time. AAU been around a long time. So we do that with the president fitness and all that stuff. So we've been around a long time.
And how long have you been involved with AAU?
I've been involved in AAU 30 years. I've been involved 30 years. So I started when I was a lot younger and a lot skinnier.
That comes from a lot of love and heart for children, am I correct?
No question. You got to love what we do. I mean, and I think anytime you get a chance to get back to the kids, you have to get back to the kids.
You know, one of the things that I say as a parent, that even if, when they get through with the sports, even if they didn't get that ultimate goal of that scholarship for a D1, you did get that ultimate goal. You were able to take your child to an event, keep them busy for the weekend. Our streets have a lot to offer, but in all the wrong ways.
I think everybody's not going to be a pro basketball player. Only 1% of everybody who plays basketball will be a pro basketball player, a college basketball player, a high school basketball player. But I think you give kids an opportunity to play, opportunity to compete, opportunity to meet other kids, life skills, dealing with other kids, competition, work efforts. I mean, so it's all together. I think sometimes everybody look at the great players that we had in AAU and say AAU is too good for me or they're too talented. But people got to understand, we got a whole lot of kids. I always say the fat Sues and fat Johnnies that can't play, but they just love to play basketball.
There you go. This year, what events are you planning on hosting at your facility in Virginia?
We host a Nike girls event. We host a Nike boys event. We're also hosting different super regionals, and we're also hosting assistant on the national championship boys and assistant on the 6th grade national championship girls. So we host the 6th grade and 6th grade boys and girls national championship. So we host about 42 different events.
And this year, what can we expect from AAU in the Texas area?
Well, we really want to get more participation. I think there's the keys, especially in the big cities like Houston, Dallas, get more kids participate. I think once kids understand and the parents understand the opportunities out there for AAU, we would like to see a bigger growth in the state of Texas.
You know, Boo, I would like to see about putting you on the schedule and let's get you out and actually come out to Virginia take the show, bring a team, and let's be part of one of your programs this year.
Oh, we love to have you on Virginia.
I would love to come, so it was a pleasure. Thank you very kindly for
Thank you.
everything. As I finished up wrapping up with Boo Williams, I had the legendary Jimmy Hicks walk through the door, the man that puts out the magazine. Jimmy, can you tell me a little bit about your magazine and how long you've been putting it out and what it's all about?
Well, believe it or not, this will be the 10th year of the magazine. It's the largest single city high school basketball publication in the United States. Basically, the magazine, it provides the community with district previews, schedules of the high school teams, district schedules, rankings of the teams, rankings of the players, and of course, articles. I mean, it's about 100 pages. And it's fulfilling. It takes a person, a real fan of Houston high school basketball, throughout the whole season. So that thing is one of those. It's not a magazine that normally you get and it goes in your back seat. It stays on your coffee table. It stays in your restroom. It stays wherever you put it. That's where the magazine. It has that much life because the schedule's in it.
Yeah.
And so the schedule is going to take you all the way through to February. And it's on the bookshelves, on the shelves of Barnes & Noble. Used to be Borders until they went out of business. And it's very well received within the basketball community in the greater Houston area. I mean, very well.
Okay, Jimmy, the one thing that I would have to say with that is that you have a lot of players out there that are just, it's like waiting for Christmas Eve to open up that gift because you do such a phenomenal job with it. I'm very proud to say that I know the man that puts out that magazine. Talk to me about RCS Sports and the different things that you do there.
RCS Sports. This is our 12th year with RCS Sports, and it pretty much the acronym for Recruiters Cheat Sheet. The word cheat didn't catch on to a lot of the high school administrators when we first started. So that's when it was too late. We had already started with the Recruiters Cheat Sheet, so then we couldn't just change the name so we just thought about it, condensed it to RCS Sports, and kept rolling, because that way in the future, who knows, you may do more than best basketball. So that way we left a window open in regard to that's how RCS Sports was derived. We start out doing, basically in a nutshell with RCS Sports, we serve as an information tool, and that's a lot of times I think a lot of people get it misconstrued, or my purpose, and think that it's basically we get information and we save and take the information from the kids and the parents and provide it to the college coaches without charging the parents and the kids to provide the information.
And why are you providing that information? We're going to say we have people out here that doesn't even understand what all this is about. So why are you providing that information?
Well, the colleges, they will pay for information, because what it does in terms, it's kind of like, after watching these presidential conventions, one thing I learned how to break stuff down. So let's break this fraction down all the way to 1/2. College coaches, just say for example, if they wanted to get some info in regarding to a player, they would have to call the high school coach, leave a voice message. He would have to call back whenever he felt like it a couple of days later. Well, I would provide that college coach with the information that I know he's seeking already, which would be what time is the athletic gym period, what's the high school coach's cell phone number, what's the recruit's cell phone number, Twitter addresses. We were the first company in the United States to provide email addresses to the college coaches, the very first, and we are the first now in 2012 to provide Twitter. So that's big now, because the recruits, they all are online with social media. So we provide information that keeps us popular with the college coaches.
And then the ultimate goal is to make sure a child gets what?
Is to get that scholarship and save that mom and that dad thousands and thousands of dollars. And my job is well done, because I get thousands and thousands of smiles and hugs at the big end upon saving that. And that's what the job is well done. And in regards to doing it, Houston has grown so much over these past 12 years, so much. I mean, we used to be ignored. Now kids are getting scholarships in multitudes from not just Houston, but the whole state of Texas as well.
And that's what the ultimate glory is for you, am I correct?
Oh, and absolutely. That's definitely that's an ongoing process.
You host a couple of events. GMI is one of them. I actually was up in the hospitality room and watched the college coaches. And I actually was standing out in the parking lot and heard a couple of college coaches talking about how they were going to get this child and get that child. And I thought, wow, this is great. This is a kid that probably couldn't afford to go to college, and now we can guarantee that maybe he's going to get to further his education. A couple other events that you host in Houston that I like is that you do a lot of fundraising ones. One of them is for the George McClellan. Am I correct?
Yes, the George McClellan Foundation is it was started up, of course, about 6-7 years ago. The late George McClellan passed. His son, Jawan McClellan, was Mr. Basketball. Went on to play at University of Arizona, and his dad never got to see him play a college game. And so Marjorie Allen, she works with the Harris County Sheriff's Department. Her and her husband, they were great enough to help establish this foundation in order to keep his legacy and do something and to provide that gives back in the form of scholarships. It gives back in the form of back-to-school drives, holiday drives.
And on the back-to-school, can you mention what y'all do there? That's a
the
special event.
back-to-school drive, that happens in August of every year. And in regards to that, it provides backpacks, school supplies, uniforms, tennis shoes, and of course clothing to all needing and wanting families right before school starts. Now we have another one coming up in December. And it's gonna catch you a little tight. I don't have the date by heart right now, but it's called Covering the Community.
And you're gonna do it for Christmas
Covering
time?
the Community is gonna be in December. That's the first time we're gonna be doing this. We're gonna be giving out jackets and blankets because you have no idea, guys, of how many families out there that don't have heat. They have to rely on opening up the stove door, which is not necessarily the most safest way to keep warm. But some people have to do what they have to do to keep warm in these communities. So we're going to think away. A lot of kids don't have jackets. They don't have coats. I mean, some families have to share coats. So we've heard of stories. One coat have to go through 2 or 3 different siblings. And so we're going to do Covering the Community. We're going to collect a lot of people's used coats. We're going to have some new coats, new jackets as well. But whatever we get our hand on, blankets and whatnot, and going to give it out to different families during December, right before the Christmas holidays.
Well, before I wrap this up, I want to make a statement, and I think that you'll agree with me. I really would like the audience out there to know that it's not just about sports, it's about the whole community. It's about nationwide. It's about how it might be a dribbling of a ball here that actually helps that person that had cancer over there, or this child in the class over here with actually the supplies that he needs to be able to learn. It's not just about the sports, it's about community, education, sports, and morals, honor, and respect. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. You hit it right on that's a bullseye.
Jimmy, I greatly appreciate you giving me the time. December, count me there, okay?
We're going to cover the community.
Cover the community. Thank you.
All right, thanks.